holy. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low.
Hi, my name is Jody Diaz. Welcome to the Transcript. This week, the Transcript looks into the impact of commercial companies on the small town store, keeps in step with NHS indoor track team, explores the charm of local used bookshops, and looks into the censorship of CDC reports, and meets with YouTube phenomenon Ezra David.
Hi, my name is Willa Sippel.
And I'm Serafina Foreman. Welcome to Tell It Like It Is. With Amazon establishing its new locations and other talk about corporations and small business tension, we decided to investigate how small businesses were getting affected by major corporations on a local level.
In Covington, Massachusetts, a hill town a little west of here, there has been a lot of controversy over a possible move-in of chain store Dollar General. To learn more about this issue, we sat down with Katie Eisman, lawyer from the area and one of the champions for this issue.
A lot of people I know have been mortified by the prospect of having a huge chain store right in the middle of Covington. A big chain store would be sending the money essentially out of the community instead of keeping it circulated, which is what happens when you're supporting local farmers and local artists and so on. First there were rumors and a lot of people saying it's a done deal and it's inevitable, but I've heard that before. Back when the pipeline proposal came through town, everybody said it was a done deal, and I said that's not the way you go about this. You don't assume anything, and the way you stop it is to oppose it. I am optimistic that this will not be something that divides the town, but that we can unite against it.
There is currently a petition with over 600 signatures to stop the Dollar General store from moving in. To connect with these local Covington residents, we spoke to them.
I am very much against it. It would be detrimental to competing and existing businesses. If the Zoning Board of Appeals grants the special permit, they would have a very difficult time, I would think, keeping any other big box store out once they've let this one in.
I would really not like to see that happen in this community. This community is based on history as far as I'm concerned. So I've been taking signatures on petitions. And even non-residents who come through here and eat here do not want to see a Dollar General store here.
It's not going to be positive for local businesses. There's probably going to be less jobs because smaller little stores like this are probably going to be run out of business for most of the things here. I'm against it because of that, because it is going to have such a heavy impact on smaller businesses like this, but that's what America's becoming.
The Dollar General store has since declined to comment. Last night, there was a meeting regarding this issue in the town of Covington.
Thanks for watching.
Stay tuned. This was Tell It Like It Is.
Hi, I'm Lulu. Welcome to Hamped Up.
Y'all ready for this?
It's no secret that running teams at NHS bring in a lot of championships and awards each season, having their athleticism and endurance praised constantly. But what is not often talked about is the mental aspects of the sport. Indoor track especially requires a large amount of mental strength due to the chaotic atmosphere and individual pressures that each race requires. I wanted to learn about the more mental aspects of winter track season and bring awareness to the mental part of sports as a whole, so I sat down with senior Emma Harder and sophomore Adele Jordan.
So right before a race, I'm usually thinking about all the practice times and all the hours we spent training for meets like this and how much hard work we put in to know that like it's going to pay off and that we're not working this hard for no reason, that we know how to do this and we're going to do great, and it's just about making it through the race.
I like to keep myself busy so I don't allow myself to have time to stress about my race, and I just keep warming up and keep talking to everyone around me and congratulating people on their races and watching other people be successful so that I know that I can do it as well.
Meets are very crowded and there's a ton of people and it can often get very chaotic. It's very stressful. So I think the most important part is like channeling your inner energy and just making sure that like you stay focused, not getting too overwhelmed, because all that chaos and noise can be like very distracting, but just making sure that you know what you're there for and just staying really focused on your events will just help you get through it.
I think that mental toughness is a really important part of track, and being able to convert your like everything that's going on and how chaotic track meets are to being able to focus on you and your teammates and your events and have fun and enjoy the meet and do well.
As a team, we do see like our teammates struggle, but we're such like a close-knit community. We're able to like help each other like get through those races, those tough races and the tough meets and the big meets. I think we all get through it by like helping each other out and just like focusing on what to do to like help you.
I think that the stigma surrounding mental health in sports, not just in track, but in all sports, is kind of looked down upon almost, and people try to ignore it, but it's obviously contributes so much to an athlete's success. It's helpful having our close-knit team and we're able to open up and experience our emotions, but also focus in and be a team and have fun.
The girls and boys track team have their first meet tonight at 7 o'clock at Smith College. Girls basketball has their first game of the season away in Agawam at 7, and boys basketball has their home opener tonight at 7 o'clock against Sabas. Swimming has a home meet against Central High School at 4 o'clock at JFK. Thanks for watching Hemped Up. I'm Lulu Kesson.
Hi, I'm Alexa, and welcome to The Leftovers. Technology plays a huge role in our lives, connecting us through social media and providing us with an endless supply of entertainment. We were curious to find out if there has been a decline in the book industry throughout the digital age. We sat down with the owner of Gray Matter Books to hear insight from someone within the business.
My name is Sam Burton, and I am the owner of Gray Matter Books. It really varies whether people prefer like new books or used books or harder to find, but there are people who either like a bargain or they like, you know, the look of the old books or the specificity of them. 10, 15 years ago, where people were freaked out, that books per se were going to end and everyone was going to read things online, and bookstores were closing right and left. But that all seems to have evaporated, and the only bookstores we lost to people who were aging out or moving away. And in the last year, we've gotten 2 new used bookstores in the area. You know, there's something about the object itself that is more appealing than what you can just get on Amazon or at a Barnes & Noble.
Although the digital era, with the presence of Kindles and online books, have sure found a decline in the book industry, there is definitely something special about holding and reading a physical book, and I don't think they're going anywhere soon. This was The Leftovers. Thanks for watching.
Hi, I'm Amelia Tamayo. Hanukkah ends on Monday. Nice! In other news... At the start of 2018, President Trump made an order to the CDC that they are not to use certain words in their 2018 budget documents. This list includes 7 banned words: science-based, evidence-based, entitlement, vulnerability, transgender, diversity, and fetus. Now that 2018 is coming to an end, we wanted to know what larger effect 7 banned words would have on the country. We spoke to a professor who specializes in the matter to better understand the situation as it pertains to public life.
Subsequent reporting suggests that it's not so clear-cut that this was actually a ban. What seems to have happened was that these officials, anticipating that the Republican Congress would not fund any kind of research that included these kinds of terms. The best way to win a debate is to define the terms of the debate, and the best way to define the terms of the debate is to be consistent in the language that one uses. The Obama administration, we see the same thing. So President Obama inherited the war on terror from President Bush, and the Obama administration wanted to distinguish its policies from the previous administration. So it, for a certain period of time, it did not refer to the war on terror. It referred to it as overseas contingency operations. And so I think we have to see these efforts to ban certain terms or to encourage self-censorship with regard to certain terms as part of a broader political strategy. Here, I think it helps to take a historical perspective. There are 3 scholars who recently published a paper. What they did was they looked at the kind of language that members of Congress use. They really couldn't predict what party a member of Congress belonged to based upon the kind of language that they used. Things began to change dramatically in 1994, and by 2016, they could predict with something like 80% of the time they could predict what party a member of Congress belonged to by the particular terms and phrases that they used. And this corresponds with the rise of wordsmithing. We stop listening to what politicians have to say because they all start sounding alike. Everybody in the Republican Party starts sounding alike. Everybody in the Democratic Party starts sounding alike. And one of the things that's very distinctive about Donald Trump is that he has found a way to cut through that clutter. And for better or worse, he's been tremendously effective at that. So, the rise of wordsmithing and this use of very generic language by both parties has led to the kind of politics that we see today in 2018.
Thanks for watching, and happy Hanukkah. Make sure you get some presents for all your Jewish friends and family. Bye!
Hello, my name is Gabe. Welcome to After the Bell. Cereal is typically consumed with milk. However, 3 students here at NHS disagree with this convention. They are the minds behind the YouTube channel Ezra Eats Dry Cereal. I sat down with them to discuss the ingredients that go into making dry cereal-based content.
I'm Ezra David, and I am the main protagonist.
I'm Caleb, and I'm the co-director and co-producer.
I'm Ben Ravel. I'm co-director, co-producer. We were at my house, all 3 of us, and Ezra was just eating a lot of dry cereal, just from a bowl, and we thought, well, what can we do with this? Where can we go with this? And that's really where it all began.
So the first thing that has to happen is always the cereal. The cereal must be acquired, it must be poured into a bowl, it must be eaten, preferably with a spoon. It also must be filmed. They know more about that than I do. I just eat the cereal.
So when we start shooting, we don't really have a shot list or anything. We just usually have Ezra, his cereal, and we're at a location. So we have to think about, first of all, what do we want to do with the story if there's going to be a story? And then from there, we just kind of think about what shots we want to do, what we think would look good, and we just play around with it.
One of the more difficult parts of the process is trying to just sort of keep control of Ezra. He tends to, he doesn't like to stop eating the cereal between takes. So we always have to be telling him, Ezra, you're going to get full. You're not going to be able to eat more. We don't have enough shots yet. You really gotta hold off.
But I can always eat more dry cereal.
It has come to like physical confrontation before. We've had to take it away from him?
So right now we are currently planning out season 3, which should hopefully release episode 1 sometime in January. And I think Ben and I are very interested in moving like in some sort of narrative direction with the show. We're not so sure yet. We're writing it now. I know Ezra's not interested in the narrative elements of the show. He's just really into the like pure eating of the cereal.
Yeah. I just got to give some shout outs to some people who have been an enormous help in working on this channel. My good friend Ethan Leibowitz, he is an Amherst, but I forgive him for that. I would also like to give a shout out to, his first name is Noah. I do not know what his last name is. I think he lives in Washington. State. He filmed season 2, episode 1. It's called Raisin Bran on the Grandstand. Yeah, I just gotta acknowledge the work those two have done in providing for the channel. The name of the channel is Ezra Eats Dry Cereal.
Right. Subscribe.
Consider my eyes opened to the world of cereal-based content. Join me next week after the bell.
Thanks for watching, and congratulations to Kiara Howard, this week's winner of the GeoFriends Find Felix project. If you see Felix around the school, post a picture with the tags #MyGeoFriends and #Felix.
We're talking about the transcript.